Facepunch and Gary have been actively working on seeing if they can make smaller and more polished games for new players to go and try out, and also show what is possible with S&box. And for today's video, we are going to be trying mini motors. Now, of course, I am going to be trying this with the Steam controller because, yeah, I know I can play on keyboard and mouse, but I do want to put this controller to good use, and I'm pretty sure it should also work with this game. All right, and here we go. This should be pretty fun. I'm going to see what controls are in a second for this, but I think it should be self-explanatory here. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, this is... Oh, I gotta get used to this. So far, I do have to say, from the art style, and also I am just absolutely getting demolished right now. Yeah, maybe I should just switch it. Let me just switch the keyboard. I do like how this game visually looks. It's really nice, and it's super cool to see like some of the options that you can get for cars and also weapons. Now, again, this is part of a whole initiative, as I mentioned earlier within this video, that Facepunch and Gary are trying to do, which is create a whole bunch of smaller yet polished games. And from this alone, this is pretty cool. Oh, and I got blown up. Thanks so much, bot. Now, truly, do I think that this will be enough for people to return back to S&box for? I'm not really sure. I'm being completely honest here. There's so much that when it comes to S&box in terms of actual games or even interest, again, I know so many people already talk about some of the player models and other stuff like that, but to me, I feel like games and optimization are some of the two biggest ones, as most of the games that you can end up playing on S&box, as it is right now, that you could just remove the player models and put in custom ones if you'd like. I like how I'm in first place right now. We're actually doing really good. I think these are some of the bigger issues that I know many people are mentioning, and some of these are being actively worked on. But with performance overall, it's been very cool to see that they have been trying to improve this. I know recently there's also been a benchmarks tool that has been added. Improvements for optimization is starting to get better and better over time. I wouldn't say it's absolutely perfect because, I mean, again, it's not going to be perfect. There's still so much that they have to do. But it really comes down to just overall, between that and then better games, I know as of right now, there is so many different type of games that are being added to S&box, and some of them, to be honest, I'm not really super interested in, but I do try my best to make sure that I can go and cover some of the better games that are more interesting, or at least something that is a little bit different from the usual clicker game or some other different type of game that would just not be interesting for most people who are just like, eh. Okay, I'm gonna try this again on the controller, and I just gotta be a little bit more careful here. But yes, like I said, I think it's just going to be one of those things where eventually we're going to have to wait and see, because so many people obviously have their own opinions about this game and how they overall feel about it, as right now there just doesn't seem to be too much interest within S&box. And I know even for me creating these videos, I do enjoy the idea of trying out new games on S&box. I think it's a ton of fun, and I definitely get where people are coming from as wondering, well, why do you even bother still with this game? I just really enjoy playing a bunch of different type of games. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I just, as of right now, I think it's just better for keyboard and mouse. Anytime I use a controller, it's just, I'm literally in last place right now. It's like, let me lock it in. But when it comes to this game, again, I do like the art style. I do like the presentation, and this feels pretty clean. I am interested in wondering what other type of games that Facepunch is possibly going to be working on, as, okay, we have a racing game here. So we're probably gonna get all different type of other games, and maybe it'd be really cool to see if we could get some updates for Opium, because that was a great example for, I guess, just a nice sort of almost cinematic style type game that is based off of Condemned Criminal Origins, but like their own version. It was really cool, and there is so much potential for that game to actually be done. All right, come on. Let's speed this up. I'm trying to see if I can maybe win another race again. Ah, dog got hit by a mine. From time to time, I end up having all different types of conversations on my Twitter with people, also within the community and outside of the community. And I ask these questions that always relate to what exactly would Facepunch and Gary have to do to really get interest back within S&box as a whole. Some people feel, though, as that ship has already sailed, and there really is no way that there could be any sort of interest for people to get back into S&box. And others feel that there is a lot that has to be done, some of it being performance, and that this could be a perfect reason for them to return back to the game once more, or even just better games that don't feel like either Roblox clones or games that are already pre-existing on Gary's mod, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure that a lot of other games, including S&box, will have copies of other games, as that's just kind of how it is, to be completely honest. But again, I feel like my job is to make sure that I can show off some really interesting games, regardless if some of you might like them or not. And I think it's cool because there is a lot that is in the works that is still not presented as of yet, but I mean, I do try my absolute best. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. This is why I wanted to play this on keyboard, okay? I should just stop messing around with the Steam controller, at least for right now. I get it, I love it, but it's not gonna allow me to be in first place and win. So yeah, I'm 100% open to the idea of what you guys even think about this game and their new initiative of trying to also create little side projects like these games to entice people to return back to Sandbox. All right, let's see. Come on, baby, we got it. Yes, sir. First place. All right, we're trying one last map for this game and kind of a couple of things I like to talk about while I'm playing this as well, because I'm having a lot of fun. I'm really liking this. Okay, some of these bots are just like griefing each other. I didn't even notice that until now. Well, thanks for the #1 spot, guys. Okay, so the one thing I wanted to talk about, oh no, please, no, no. Oh, I got blown up, really? Well, there goes my #1 spot. Goodbye. The one thing I wanted to talk about is the new updates to the mounts and also Gary working on the Rust assets. Yesterday, I ended up talking about a new update where he's deciding to bring some of the Rust assets into Sandbox and also allowing people to not only use those assets for their own games and add-ons, but also allow you to monetize your game using those assets, which is really cool. So you can technically create your own Rust and possibly earn money off of that if you'd like. And this kind of relates to another thing that I think is going to be very interesting, which is now mounts are available throughout the entire platform. This I feel could be absolutely beneficial to how games will be, because a lot of people want to take out the time to kind of create all these different style of games, and some of them do require other third-party IP assets that people know and love from Gary's mod. Now, we understand that especially with Sandbox, it's completely different compared to how it was with Gary's mod, as it is a mod and this is a full-on game engine with a platform attached to it on the side. So the fact that you'll be able to use some of these assets and not really have to worry, because this kind of circumvents any sort of copyright issue unless you are monetizing your game. Let's say, for example, somebody could create a Stalker RP game that they want on Sandbox, or even a Half-Life RP game that they want on Sandbox using the assets. It would be pretty obvious that you can't go out of your way to just monetize that game, but I think it would be cool in other ways that you can create these games. And I know some people are probably going to be like, well, we host servers, so if you would like to go and do so and do the classic Gmod thing, then they could go and do that if they want to. There's a lot of possibilities that can be done, and I think that they are going into a direction where, again, as what they already have stated, to give people the option to customize and really change the way that they want to create games and also just customize their games. Add-ons are very, very important, and one thing that has possibly not been mentioned is how confusing that they are, especially for people who want to add or make add-ons for other games. This is very obvious when it comes to something like the Sandbox mode, which it does require you to go and have to fork the Sandbox mode and then try to make your add-ons through there. I am hoping that they do improve this, and it seems like this is something that Gary's already working on as of right now. But again, I'm just genuinely curious as to what they're going to be doing moving forward, as they have at least 5 to 6 months to try their absolute best, just improving the game and trying to make it even worthwhile. Again, interest is definitely going to be something a lot of people are going to wonder and feel like the boat has already sailed. But for them to bring back players once more again, I guess that's something we'll just again have to see. All right, and I got first place. Not too bad. It's nice that we're able to go and race with bots too. I know you can play with other players, but as of right now, there just is no servers because not many people are playing the game. So that was Mini Motors. Now, let me know your thoughts, as I mentioned this like numerous amount of times before. Do you really feel like this will be something that, especially if more and more of these type of small and polished games that do come to Sandbox start to become, of course, a thing that people are interested in, that it would be one of the reasons why that they would bring players back? And let me know your thoughts about how you feel about all the stuff that I talked about within this video. That's all I have. Feel free to subscribe for more content by ya boy. And definitely feel free to check out this video right here, talking about the latest update that has happened on Sandbox. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.